What's going on, guys? It's Doss. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be introducing another really cool hobby that I laid off for about a year and I'm just not getting back into. So what you're looking at here is an electric RC. This is not just any RC, this is a Traxxas RC. So let me go ahead and give you guys a backstory about why I chose Traxxas, the brand of this. So every RC model is waterproof, it's very durable, it's very easy to fix, it's very easy to change the tires, anything you need to do to keep the maintenance up on these things, because like I said, this is not your ordinary RC. These things are actually built to last, and they're built to play in the mud, snow, sand, wherever you want to drive them. They're built for that, except they can't really float on water, but they have boat. Traxxas makes boats for that. Anyway, an old neighbor of mine had this brand already, and he suggested it. Of course, this is not my first model. I actually traded my first model with him, but this is the model that I bought last year when I actually started getting back into this hobby. We're gonna start off with this one right here. This is the one that I bought from an actual hobby town. And Hobby Town sells RCs, not just Traxxas, but different RCs as well. But I like Traxxas because Traxxas headquarters is actually here in McKinney, Texas. So it's pretty cool to go. I haven't been there. I will go there pretty soon. Of course, I will record that. But they have all the Traxxas models laid out like a little dealership. This right here is called the Max. Now, this is not the X Max, which is the ultimate, the best RC off-roader, which is around $1,000. It can get pretty pricey if you buy batteries and stuff like that with it. But this is like the miniature version of that, and I love this model. This thing comes standard with your brushless motor, which there's two different choices of motors. You can get the standard one, the silver one, or you can get the blue brushless. I will show you guys that in a second. This is 4-wheel drive. You can get some RCs with 2-wheel drive, and this is the ultimate off-road. You have your wheelie bar right here. You know, you can obviously, this is the easiest shell taking off. There's two types of shells you can take off. You have the ones with the 4 individual pins, which I will show you, and then you do have this one as well. So you might be looking at this and you can see the green struts in there, and this actually had the green body on it first to match the struts right here, or the shocks, whatever you want to call it, but it broke and I had to go ahead and get this one, which is a little bit newer. It's still beat up. This is pretty much my go-to if somebody wants to race or whatever. I'll use this Max right here. When I set this down, you can see the inside of these RCs. They look very good and they look pretty cool. You do have everything you need. Your motor is down there, the little blue part, and then you have right here for the antenna. That's all you need right there. This is what turns the wheels, your fans right here, your 2 fans. And this is where you put your battery right here. All you need is the battery. Now there's different types of batteries. I normally use the 3S, which is kind of the middle battery. It gives you most of the power. If you put a 4S battery, which is the top battery, this thing will go, it's full, I think like 60, 70 plus miles an hour. Depends on what battery, it depends on how much power you get out of these things. So if we flip it back up, this is 4-wheel drive. You have real differentials in here. The shocks are filled with fluid. You can adjust these shocks just for this model right here. Comes with the adjustable shocks. And then you can see this, the undercarriage, everything is nice with skid plates and stuff that you can see. I don't like to beat them up too much, but I mean, I've had this for about a year. Like I said, so, I mean, about 2 years now, so you know, it does pretty good. You can adjust the height so it doesn't bottom out, which as you can see, I've been doing that quite lately. But this is pretty much my go-to. Like I said, like if somebody wants to race or whatever, I want to take an RC out, I'll take this one. This is the one I normally kind of, you know, abuse the most. I try not to, but now we'll talk about pricing as well. In the store, when I got this, sorry about that, when I got this in the store, I got it for a good price of $500. Now on the website, it has not changed. The RCs don't really change prices at all. On the website, it's about $550 because none of the RCs come with a battery. So if you buy it just off the website without any kind of battery or whatever, it totals out to around $600 with shipping, handling, and all that stuff. So, but my friend had a coupon when we went to Hobby Town, so it took like $50 off. You know, to me, it's actually something special because it's a cool piece of technology that, you know, you can take advantage of. You can put a GoPro on top of and do all kinds of cool shots with it and stuff like that. All models are waterproof. You know, all models have shocks and everything. And you do have to, obviously these tires are rubber, so you got to replace them. You got to replace the whole thing, not just, you can't just separate the tire from the wheel. But let's go ahead and get right into my next model. All right, now the rest of these are online purchases, and this one right here is called the Rustler 4x4 BXL. So this is basically the top of the line Rustler on the website. It is about $430, which means, you know, after shipping and handling, it would come around to about, I'd say maybe $470, $480. So this one's pretty much $500. I rounded up to about $500, and I love this one right here. Let's talk about this one for a second. It's so good at off-roading, and it's also fast on the road. You can see it has the wide tires and the wide. It's just a wider, you know, lower performance vehicle. So this thing, Like when I tell you guys, like if you ever if you ever race most of these in top speed, you guys know what I'm talking about. If you drive these, they'll kind of shake a little bit because it's just the tires are too narrow or it just sits too high. This one is perfect. This one sits low and it has wide tires, so it's the best of both worlds. Also has a spoiler, which I don't think it does that much anyway. You do have a wheelie bar, which helps a lot because they all pretty much do wheelies if you have the 3S battery, which is what I use in pretty much all of them except one of them. I'll show you guys that. Let's go ahead and unlatch it, and as you can see, this is, I try not to flip this one over. It doesn't flip over that much. You can see, you could tell my point right here. You can see it doesn't really flip over that much because I don't have too many scratches. That's because it's perfect. It's low and it has wide tires. It's perfect to race and to off-road. Now, as you can see, we have the same brushless motor in here. There's another brushless motor. That's why I say it's top of the line. Of course, top of the line. And this one, you can actually see the drive shaft in here. I'll show you guys that in a second. So you can see these shocks are not adjustable, but you can upgrade pretty much every single part on these RCs. You can upgrade them. Even the drive shaft, right? You can see the drive shaft for the 4-wheel drive. True 4-wheel drive right there. As you can see, I don't know if you can see that. You can see the drive shaft in there. That's why I love driving this one. This one is great. It really is. You got your wheelie bar back there. You got your suspension components and all that stuff. Yeah, this is the top of the line Rustler on the website, and you can just go ahead and grab these for a good steep price of around $470. Like I said, the price is actually $430, $429, whatever. But it'll the tax and all that stuff, and all that good stuff that comes with it. It's gonna be a little pretty steep price. But keep in mind, I haven't bought one of these since last year, and these are all just great. But once a part does break on them, you can obviously go back to the website, order a new battery, a new part, whatever you see right here, you can order it off the website and fix it yourself. It's pretty easy, which is why I love these as well. We'll be making videos about that too, so you guys stay tuned. Let's move to the next vehicle though. Alright, let's move to a little bit more complicated vehicle to explain. This is the Slasher. This is the most common RC body that you will find. Now, there are so many different versions of the Slasher on the website that I can't even really keep up with. Can't even actually count. I think it's about 7 of them. This is the second to best. I mean, yeah, the second to best pretty much. So there's one more ahead of this. At least the last time I checked, which was last year, right? So the price of this one I think is about $460. But as you can see, you can look up underneath, and you can look inside and you see the same setup pretty much for the most part. Just everything is actually on this side. You put your battery on that side. Now, like I said, there's different versions of this, different types of batteries. So if you put like a lesser value battery, like maybe like a 2S, it'll be slower. It'll be around 40 miles an hour. You put a 3S in there, it'll be around 60 miles an hour. And you put a 4S in there. I don't think this one will even go out 4S, but it'll just pretty much do backflips all the time because there's so much power in it, and you got to be careful not to overheat it. Now, you do have your brushless motor, of course. This one doesn't have, these don't have any fans. As you can see, this one doesn't have a wheelie bar, but it does have your nice shocks and all that stuff. So like I said, you can upgrade these shocks. These are the factory or the stock shocks. As you saw what I was doing when I was taking off the shell, you have to use these pins to take them off. This is the harder body to actually do, like I said. So but it's got the nice Fox body on there. As you can see, I love that. It's a really good body. So let's go ahead and move right on to the next. Alright, this is not the last, but it's definitely the least, at least when it comes to value, and this is called the Bandit. Now, this is basically your standard Traxxas RC, and obviously this is pretty much the cheapest as far as the scale 118, which is all the ones I've been showing you. Believe it or not, even though this one looks smaller, this is still on the scale 118 platform. Now, as you can see, these back tires are completely smooth. That is because the tire, when they're brand new, they have these little knobs on them, these little dirt tire knobs on them, and they go out quick when you drive them on the concrete, the pavement, which is pretty much all I do. As you can see, you have a massive spoiler in the back that matches the actual body shell right here, as you can see. And of course, we're back with the pins. These are smaller to accommodate this shell. You have a nice long antenna right there for whatever reason, and then you do have more waterproof electronics. Like I said, every model from Traxxas is waterproof, and of course you have your white standard shocks. You can upgrade those if you wish. This is the cheapest Bandit. I think the most expensive Bandit is around $220. This one was around $275. So plus tax and all that stuff, it'll come around like $210 or whatever. I think when I bought it. As you can see, this is, for once, you can actually see the one motor that I do have. This is the second option. This is your standard option, or you can move up to the blue motor I've been showing you, which is the brushless motor. Because I run this on 2S, you can't even run this on 3S with this motor in here. It just won't even move. Of course, it doesn't have that much ground clearance, or not anywhere near that power, because it's not It's not four-wheel drive, of course. I don't think any Bandits come in four-wheel drive. Everything just kind of works in the back right here. But another really cool model. So my last model is basically the same as the first, as you guys saw, that Max, but this one is a little different because it's never even been driven before, and I will explain that to you guys once I get it over here. So let's get that going. This is the first truck I showed you guys. This is the first RC, except this is a brand new one that hasn't even been touched. Believe it or not, yes, I bought a second copy of the $600 RC, but never used it. I just felt like I was gonna actually just throw this on top of a shelf or something like that one day, and you know, every now and then I take it out of the box to smell it, and man, I know this is just $600 sitting here in a box, but let's go ahead and unbox it for you guys. Why not? Also, here's the chart. Like I was explaining to you guys, there's different battery sizes, and you can see you know, the higher the battery voltage, obviously the more capability you'll get out of your RC. Alright, there it is. You see it peeking out of the box right there? This is a $600 RC that has not even been, I haven't even put a battery in this thing yet. So let's talk about this gorgeousness for a second, right? So let's talk about this gorgeousness for a second, right? This is a brand new RC. This is the 2-year-old RC. $600 worth of RC right here, and it's never been driven. You can see the tires, they look immaculately good. It hasn't even been driven in the house. I've never put a battery, I've never even turned it on, so it probably doesn't even really work, but hey, that's fine because I probably never will. Never even will use it. I just like to see a brand new nice RC looking like this. And of course, let's pop off the shelf. And you can see now when you buy one of these RCs, right, all you get is the RC and the remote. That's it. I don't even know if there's batteries that come with the remote, but you don't get an actual battery that powers these. You have to buy those separate. Also a charger to charge the batteries. There's different types of chargers all over the place, but I have a fast charger. I have a DC, I think they call it a DC fast charger, and it charges 2 batteries fast no matter which one it is, because you got to be careful because the battery voltage, you don't want to leave them plugged in. If they're done, they'll blow up or whatever. You know, they're very expensive, very high voltage, very smart batteries, so you need to be careful with them. Just like with this whole RC, you can see there's 2 fans once again, and you do have the brushless motor that is just clean. I love the body too, the blue and the gray. It looks really cool. You can see you got the dark blue struts with the adjustability on them. It's a 4-wheel drive, obviously brushless motor, and this thing will reach a top speed around 70-65 miles an hour. You do have warning labels and stuff like that, but this is a serious RC vehicle. Just like with the air guns, this can put you in the hospital. Like, this will break an ankle, especially the bigger ones. Now you might be thinking these have to be the top of the line since they're worth like $600-700. There is actually a couple models over this. I think it's called the Evo brushless or whatever. There's one that I think it has like 2 motors, or no, it uses 2 batteries, 2 4S batteries. So you're gonna run it on 8S, and it can reach top speeds about 80, maybe 100 miles an hour. And it could definitely do some damage. Obviously, something going that fast will break an ankle, no doubt, or a leg. These things are dangerous. I haven't really, gotten injured by them yet, but they do hurt, especially when you like have them in your arm like this. Like sometimes you'll have them in your arm, and then you'll accidentally hit the controller, and it'll give you a nice burn. The tire will burn the crap out of your arm, and it hurts, and it's a nice ugly scar for a long time. People ask you, what happened? Oh, I got ran over. I pretty much got ran over by my own RC. Like, what? Yeah, so a lot of people don't even know about these things, but they're awesome. They're fun to work on. They're really cool to watch and see if you know how to handle them, like someone who's over the age requirement to do this. But like I said, these are my RCs. This is my $3,000 RC collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope my camera is still recording because, as you know, I love to upload, and this is definitely something I wanted to get in front of the camera and show you guys. And this is another hobby that I put off for about a year. Dude, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And you should definitely check out the Traxxas website, because that Traxxas, like I said, this is just a brand of RCs that I like to use because, they're all waterproof. They're just nice. There's this Traxxas has never done me wrong. Customer support or whatever. I am gonna go see the actual headquarters pretty soon. I know I've been saying that ever since I've been buying these things, but I will for real. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and y'all can stay tuned for that too, because I will upload that. I will record that, and that's it.